Great managers earn 3 to 5 times more than average managers. In my previous video, I have taken you through the 5 principles that could help you become a great manager. And many of you have written to me after that asking for more inputs as to how you could become a great manager. In today's video, I am going to cover 7 characteristics, 7 things that you can follow, which on the top of those 5 principles will help you become a great manager. So first, if you have not watched the previous video where I have spoken about the 5 principles, please go and watch that. I have given you the link in the description box also, and then watch this video completely to learn these 7 characteristics which will help you further in becoming a great manager. So let's talk about the first characteristics. The first and the most important characteristics of great managers is they display empathy. Empathy is something which is very important because when you become a manager, you work with people. There are people who are connected with you in your teams. And your one act of kindness will take you a long way in making you a great manager. So that's why you need to connect with your people at emotional level. The mistake that we do, that we think that it's a professional environment and our relationships with our subordinates should remain just at a professional level. Yes, to some extent that is true, but you also need to connect with them at emotional level. You need to understand their problems, their issues, what is bothering them, and then if you are able to help them on those aspects, that will go a long way in helping you guys connect with each other, in bringing the team together, and ultimately this kind of a team will become extremely successful and that will make you a great manager. So display empathy wherever possible and that will really help you in becoming a great manager. The second characteristics of great manager is they don't overthink. They act. They have a very high action orientation. Now what typically happens is that when you are in the corporate world, you have a lot of resources at your disposal and then you are responsible towards them, and that makes you think. That creates some sort of fear inside that what will happen if I take a wrong step, and that leads to overthinking. That leads to you not acting on things. But the great managers work without fear. They have conviction in their decisions. So they act very fast and they take risks, because if you don't take risks, you won't be successful. Because at the end of the day, corporates are all about action, all about result orientation. And that's why great managers don't overthink, they act, they take actions, and then they get results. So this is one capability that you will have to develop if you want to become a great manager. The third characteristics that you need to develop is your ability to smell around your environment. This is very important to become a great manager, because when you work in an environment, in a company, there are various people who work with you. There are superiors, subordinates, peers, and everybody has a certain motive. And you need to understand those motives and also understand how some of those things will come in your way of achieving success. The problem or the mistake that I see people making is they think that if as long as they are doing everything right, that's fine. Till they get hit by some of the other things, some of the issues which really come in their way because of other people, because of other departments. And that's why it is very important to smell around your environment, understands the motives of everybody. And frankly speaking, this is all common sense. And you need to be acting with your common sense all the time. So that's why developing this ability to smell around your environment is very important if you want to become a great manager. Great managers are solution providers. You will have to become a solution provider, a problem solver. And this is the next characteristics that you will have to develop, because corporate life is all about solving problems. Corporates value people who solve problems for them, and you will have to become one. Not only you have to solve problems for yourself, but for your team members, your peers, everybody around. Because if people see you as somebody who solves problems, who has this ability to really come across as a problem solver, who displays problem solving skills, your respect would really increase in their eyes. And that's why you need to become a solution provider. You need to become a problem solver if you have a desire to become a great manager. One problem which I have always seen people facing in the corporate world, and especially successful people, is as they become more successful, slowly they develop some sort of an ego. And this really comes in the way of becoming a great manager. So the next characteristics that you will have to develop to become a great manager is to cut your ego. Now, what typically happens is that when you become extremely successful, then consciously you don't do this, but subconsciously this starts coming in your way of operation, in the way you behave with people without you realizing. So others would realize that slowly this ego has come inside you. So you need to be extremely conscious about this particular aspect. You need to ensure that you cut this ego. You will have to really display a behavior where people feel comfortable being with you, where they feel that you are one amongst them, where they feel that you are not really displaying the position, power that you actually have because of the chair that you are holding. And that will go a long way in making you a great manager. So cut your ego. Don't let it come in your way of becoming a great manager. When you take up the role of a manager, it also gives you the power to be able to give directions, to be able to speak your mind to your people. And sometimes what it leads to is that you keep talking more and listening less. And others cannot do anything about it because you are their manager, they can't stop you. So to become a great manager, you will have to develop active listening skills. You will have to speak less, listen more. Because when you listen more, you understand issues better, you understand people better, and you can give better solutions. Don't listen to respond, listen to understand. And this is very important. And what I always tell people is, if you're sitting in a meeting or if you're talking to somebody and if you guys are together for an hour, figure out for how much time you have spoken. And if you have spoken more than 30-40% of the time, there's a problem. You are speaking too much, you are listening less. So you need to develop those listening skills to become a great manager. This is very important. And as you go up in the corporate hierarchy, this becomes more and more important. Great managers listen more. Great managers try to understand issues from people, to understand problems from people, and then provide solutions. So speak less, listen more. That's the next characteristic. And finally, great managers don't run away from issues. They take them head on. They solve them. They really display this ability to solve issues, solve problems. Now, what typically happens is, and I've seen that happening in the corporate world quite often, is when you're faced with a lot of issues and difficult issues, you keep few of them aside. You really don't know how to handle them. And that's why sometimes you don't act on them because of fear, because of risk. So that ultimately leads to those issues becoming even bigger. And then you get into a problem. So great managers always face issues head on. They really go and solve the problems rather than keeping them aside. They don't procrastinate. They take action. And that really builds the confidence of the system also in them. People know, their bosses know that this is a manager who takes issues head on and solves them. And that creates a lot of respect for you in the system. So that's why if you have to become a great manager, you will have to take issues head on. You will have to solve them. You can't run away from issues. So keep that thing in your mind and develop that capability inside you. So these 7 characteristics, coupled with the 5 principles that I have spoken about in the earlier video, they will really help you in becoming a great manager. I would strongly advise you to print them on a sheet of paper and put them in front of you on your workstation, because if they are in front of you, you will slowly start working towards them. They are extremely powerful. And if they are in front of you every day, then you will actively and consciously start working towards them, because these have the power to really position you very differently in your organization, in front of your manager, in front of your subordinates. So that's why if you have a desire to become a great manager, you must follow these 5 principles and the 7 characteristics that I have discussed with you. And over a period of time, you will start seeing what kind of difference they have made to your life, to your corporate career. So if you found this video useful, give it a thumbs up. Do share it with your family and friends so that they also get benefited by it. And if you have any questions, any doubt, put them in the comment section. I'll answer them. And now I'll see you in the next video. Till then, thank you very much for watching.